Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. How's everyone? Hey Joseph, hey Dave, hey Apollo, hey Bill and Rod and Derek, hey PF Dennis and Tuxedo. How are folks? Who else do we have? Monkey Butler Labs and Dom, Malfrey, Tina, and Tor and Tuxedo. How are folks? Hey Kevin, hey Caldwell, Daniel. Another blaster build today. Thanks for being members. Pop away. Let's see, get some coffee. So today we are building a little fancier blaster courtesy of Apollo here. So thank you, Apollo. Appreciate the enabling another non-printer build. Hi Shane and Ajax. Hey Thomas, hey Cliff. So a bunch of parts, as you saw in the thumbnail, but a lot of nicely, like there's a Delrin plunger and some machine parts, another machine part, and even these pieces are more than just cut bar stock with some holes drilled in them. They look probably laser cut because there's a start and end here you can see. So, hey MacBoy, hey Iconic, Dave, James, and Jaws of Joey, and Matrix Tech, and yeah. So I printed everything. I was actually worried that I wouldn't have time to do this today because I started printing, I think it was Tuesday night, maybe it was Wednesday night. And I thought, oh man, there's a lot of parts to these builds. I might be cutting it close. But I got it going on the Mercury 1, the Gray Trident, and my Prusa Mini. So the Prusa Mini printed all the orange parts. The Mercury 1 printed all of the... So this is Protopasta's metallic orange gold PETG. This is CookieCAD's Witchcraft PETG. And then that was on the Mercury 1. And then my Trident printed all these, which is Fusion Filaments, Ionic Black, HTPET Plus. So a bit overkill for a blaster, but yeah. Hey Morden, Mitchell. Gavin does an amazing job with those parts. Yeah, everything printed pretty well. A few more supports than I'd have liked. But you know, you can't avoid that on some models depending on what the designer goals are. So I definitely, I really prefer and like to see parts that are clever solutions to avoiding supports, but I'm okay with how this went. It all printed well. I don't think I had a single failure in the prints. Yeah. Quite the name for a filament. Yeah. So yeah, all those filaments are listed in the description. So yeah, I bought this at the CookieCAD stuff and the Fusion Filament stuff at Rocky Mountain. I got this from Luke's Laboratory and this from CookieCAD directly. So, and then I already had I like to include the orange. I like to, even though this is kind of a dark metallic orange, I think it'll go pretty well. It's a pretty, it's not offensive at all. Looks pretty good. Is that a side piece? The barrel looks smaller. I don't know that that's actually smaller than any of the others that we've built. This will be another full-size blaster. So yeah, these two are PETG, and this is HTPET, which is different. It's not PETG, it's HTPET. So this prints at, I think I was printing this at 275. So let me see. Let me go in here and grab the description link because I think that's going to be easiest. Hey, we have 69 people here right now. Nice. Do you have a recommendation for a first blaster build? Apollo tends to recommend the Talon Claw. as a first blaster build. I would say, for my opinion and my experience with the 3 that I've built, I would say it's a toss-up. I don't think the Talon Claw is any easier than build than, say, like a slab. I think that Silly Butts does a better job of paying attention to printability than Captain Slug, who's the Talon Claw. So I would probably prefer or point people towards a Silly Butts design as an early build. But Apollo might have a reason for suggesting the Talon Claw that I'm not aware of or as experienced with. So I think the similar plastic. We'll get some polyic corrosion. Polyonic corrosion. Okay, I was going in here to get the listing. So this is a purchase model. It is from GavinFuzzy Customs, and they tend to work through Etsy. So polymeric corrosion, yeah. I mostly recommend the Talon Claw because most of the others are based on that design. Got it. So this is the Etsy page. This link is in the description. There are a lot of options here. What we will be building today is the base hardware kit plus the the plunger set and the RAM, and we will be doing the half dart RAM. So I believe it's these 3 items make up what we're going to build today. There are other things that can be purchased at varying price levels, but hey, Rick. So, and when you purchase this, you get a link to a Google Drive, and there are a bunch of let me see if I can get this over here. You get a bunch of files. So, hey, Martin. So there's a print guide. There is a nice little, here, let's see if we can open this and see if it'll open up fine. There's a nice little STL mockup file with colors. So you can go in here and you can move things around and see what piece that is. There's a little error here with this piece here. I don't know. I'll get that out of the way. But yeah, you can go through here and see what the various parts, what colors they are. I think a criticism I have of this setup is it is pretty disorganized. Let's discard that. As far as the files are concerned, there seems to be some garbage cleanup that wasn't done. I like the fact that the print guys showed settings for every part. Yeah, we'll open that in a second. If you go into files, it's kind of you gotta really cross-reference stuff to the pictures in the print guide to know exactly what you're supposed to. And so like, and depending on what you purchase, you don't need to print all of it. So like there's an angle magwell, but I don't know if this is half darts or full darts. There's not a lot of explanation in some of it. So I think there could be some improvements there. There's an old folder here, no explanation. There's old instructions, but anyway, I worked through it. It wasn't too arduous to get through, but I think it could be. That's the area I would say would be the biggest improvement on this kit. We go to the print guide. So there are some items that you should be looking for. Half dart only, and it's a special angled magazine. Yeah, I knew it was a special angled magazine, but coming into it, not as familiar with things, I don't just know. And I think there's some assumptions here that people just know. Print settings are all minimum. Recommended values, higher wall thickness may be used. Layer height is not critical, and speed is dependent on your printer, of course. So there are orientations. Nothing's pre-oriented, unless it just happened to be. Hey, Tina. But at least it shows you how it should be oriented, because some of them aren't as obvious. I have an angled magwell in my Talon Claw. Yeah. I didn't actually use these supports here. It printed fine. That bridge is not out of the question for most printers. Any of you will probably have a printer that will print without those supports, but I did put these in and the front here, which needed to be there. I used organic supports on everything and it worked well. Just Prusa slicers, organic supports worked well for this as well. And I did a lot of support blockers or an enforcer, depending on how much work I felt I needed to do to clean up, because once you enable supports, it wants to support all this stuff up here, depending on where your angles are. It was cool. Like this piece here is no supports. That's this guy. Now, this HTPET didn't bridge very well, so I'm gonna have to clean up some of that in there. You can kind of see. I'll get in there with a knife and a file and clean it up, but that's all just bottom surface stuff. It printed like this on the build plate. I do. But yeah, this print quality turned out pretty well for a minimal, never printed with it before. Just throw it on there and do some extrusion multiplier tuning, and I left it with my ABS speed settings for these, and I printed well. Even that overhang there, I mean, there's a little bit there. Now I'm not going to be able to install this. This is the stock adjustable stock, but I can't find my commercial one, the worker one that you're supposed to use the parts from. I spent almost all of yesterday afternoon looking through every spot I think it could be, and I know I have it. I just don't know where it is. So that will not get installed today. Lots of good stuff. I mean, there's some effort here so I mean, like the Talon Claw, all of the Picatinny rail stuff is straight. So I did a lot of supports on the Talon Claw stuff, and Silly Butts and this person, Gavin, is mindful of that on things like this. None of these needed supports. There was a couple of these that I did do a brim. I think this piece here, just based on the build plate surface area, these other ones had a bit more. These guys here, printed upright. I did a brim on these because that's the bottom layer area spot right there. And it's sticking up, and it was on my Prusa Mini. So got a Scar T-brake, and I did get the correct fishing line for this, so that'll be interesting to try out. Other things here. So now all this stuff down here, I did not need to print because it came in the machine parts stuff. So I didn't print any of this. There's some extra supports needed in some of them, and I didn't print this. I used the other buffer tube. And then we can get on to the instructions. So we have a half dart version and a full dart version, and this is going to be the half dart version. That's what all my blasters are. Now here's another, so further on in the instructions, we're going to find that there's a recommendation for some reason to screw things in from two sides at the same time. So I think a second screwdriver should be noted here. But not a lot of stuff. They do recommend thread lock into plastic. I'm not a fan of thread lock into any plastic, so I'm probably going to skip that. What's your opinion on that, Apollo? What's your opinion? Can it be printed in something else than PETG? Oh, absolutely, Morton. I think they recommend PLA, for sure. I prefer. I'm not a fan of PETG either. It's such a pain to deal with. It's such a pain to accumulation on the nozzle, and just the mess and the stringiness and oh, the drying. So did you folks see here? Let me see if I can bring this up. Let's see if I can find a picture. This one will do well enough, I think. So brand new roll of filament, the CookieCAD stuff. Now this is not a CookieCAD thing. This is a PETG thing, because it was a well sealed, a good vacuum seal on this roll. I opened it and went tss. So good vacuum seal on this roll. This is, let me get this. This is before and after. So you can see here on the right, this is my attempts to print it straight out of the packaging. And I noticed that it was hissing and popping straight out of the packaging, and creating a not great print quality. And so I threw it in my poly dryer overnight, and the exact same G code, just reran the G code. And this is the smooth layers it was laying down. So it only lost, now I did weigh the spool. So there's a brand new spool. I weighed it before and after on my little kitchen scale to the gram. But it was somewhere around 1192 grams before I put it in the dryer, and it only dropped about 2 grams in the 12 or whatever many hours. I just kind of set it overnight, and then while I was at work, and I came home and took it out and printed exact same G code, and look at that difference. It's ridiculous. The same thing happened with the Protopasta. It did not have a good seal on the bag, but it doesn't seem to matter. I am of the opinion that at least here, my Sensibo sensors are saying I'm around 40 to 50% humidity most of the time, and the print quality is dramatically, it's almost unusable without drying it. I would say it's unusable. Someone was mentioning last week that the issue is often due to the manufacturer letting it sit in open air for days before vacuum packaging. Very well could be. But just the idea as a consumer, when it comes in, you don't know that. But you can't assume that if it's got a good seal that it's going to print well. Now, hey Joey, that did surprise me. It very much surprised me that the print quality was this dramatic with only 2 grams of weight loss. Exactly. And it's not like it was only drying the outer layers, because the entirety of my prints here have turned out well. I'm happy with the print quality throughout the prints that I did. So, hey Pathetic Puma. Okay. So I saw Upload mention something about going into only things going into metal. I could have misread it, but I thought I saw somewhere that was going into into plastic, but I could have been mistaken. We'll see that today. 2 grams of water is a lot. I've had, and yes, for sure. But I've dried spools where I weighed before and after and had like 6 or 8 grams difference. So I wasn't expecting a lot when I did that, when I noticed that little difference. Hey, Maurice. So, okay. Let's see. We got a list of hardware here. List here. Here, let's zoom this in a bit. And we can start assembling. So let's start. I did not. I failed. I absolutely failed. I did not print a hex tray for this. Wow. How could I have forgotten that? What am I going to use? And I gave away all my hex trays that aren't being used right now. Oh well. I absolutely failed. Okay, let's see what we have for other hardware here. Epic, it is. There are some long M5s here, and they are black oxide, and there is some signs of rust in here. So we'll probably kind of wipe those down with some sort of something. hopefully get that to minimize continuing. Hardware bag. And then a couple of the machine parts came in bags that had some, like this was this here. Oh, I should be fired. Pringles caps work great for small parts as well. I don't have any Pringles caps here. I don't eat Pringles. And this came with this guy. So we'll set those over there. Need one hex tray and brake in case of emergency box. Yes, this is true. This is very true. Oh, I never actually clicked on my... So let's just, I'll just grab what I need. There aren't really a whole lot of parts here, so that's a good thing. Got some stickers. Hey, the GPs. Oh, it comes with a Allen key for the M5s. Much stuff here. So there are some spacers. 10mm round standoff. Must be these guys. No, there's more standoffs here. Okay, is it threaded ones? Can always cancel and reschedule for May 32nd. This does not appear to be the ones that we need for the, according to the picture here. That looks like one of these guys. Two of these. So two of these guys, and there was a machined sear. That guy will go in there. That's not a tight fit, so probably not supposed to be. And then into the trigger. And there's already a screw. So this mentioned a screw here into the sear. Is that what that is? And then some grease that goes there, going into the handle. Let's clean up this handle first, because I feel like this. Let's see if I can get this. Fighting a 9-hour jet lag. Ew. Have you seen the animatronic pit droid? Might be a quick, fun Charlie's Angels project. No. Post me a link to on the Discord. Hey, John. I wouldn't mind doing a droid at some point. I'm just going to try to scrape this. I don't know how flat this is supposed to be. It's intended to be a bridge spot, because they say no support, so maybe it's not a problem. Maybe I can just make sure things are, nothing big is sticking up, and we can clean it up more later if we need to. There's a peak right there. Let's see, do I have none of my knives are really large, the right size, and I need one of those like chisel blades. Maybe I use an actual chisel. I do have a narrow chisel, an extremely narrow chisel. This might go in there. This has never been used, just in a kit that I had. Oh yeah. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. This is, I wouldn't call this a necessarily a good or sharp chisel, but it is brand new, never been used. So the edge that was on it from the packaging is what's on there. I've had it for probably many, many years, but I needed another size and I just bought a kit. Okay. It's my here on the end. Yeah, I'm going to call that good. I think it's going to be fine. And just to clean up any. Oh yeah, that. I saw it melt out some. Just get any little bits of extra. Yep. Have you thought of building the Marco? What's that? Mostly 3D printer and no spring required. Oh, I think I saw that. Will not put dents or holes in garage doors. Sounds like a good youngin' one. Hey, Joanne. My wife is at a festival. The kids are in bed having a beer and watching me. Thank you to the person who gave me a membership so I could be here. Awesome. Welcome. Okay, so the next thing, we need a spring. So we should have a bag of springs in here. Here we go. Bag of springs. Oops, I need to turn off, put myself in streamer mode. I just heard that, so I shouldn't. There we go. As long as it's mostly flat, yeah. And that is much more flat than it came off the printer. That bridging game there was not great. Okay, catch spring. So we have what appear to be a few. Oh, okay. Apparently I didn't open it, cut it where the opening was. We have what appear to be a couple of. Hey, Frank. A couple different size springs, but there's no instructions in here as to what size to use. And they are tangled. Yeah, that's fun. Let's just go there. Okay. So we have two different size springs, it looks like. Which one is the catch spring? I'm going to guess the bigger one. And just looking at the scale of things, I think the bigger one is going to be the correct spring. I'm sorry, Apollo, but if I have to go back and refer to the parts list, let's look. Spring. Let's see. Parts list. I don't see a K25 spring mag release. 4mm outer diameter, and then spring catch is a 6mm outer diameter. Spring for the mag release and the spring for the catch is the 6. Okay, so this must be the spring for the catch. Okay, the bigger one. Put a link in CS stream chat to the Maraca. Cool. Okay, so, and here's where it says, tighten both sides concurrently with 2 screwdrivers. If I had a hex tray, it would be so much easier. I know, it's terrible. Complete failure. M3 by 12. M3 by 12 screws. These are going to be machine screws. Here they are. There are not, there is not a whole lot of hardware here. That's a good thing in my opinion. That's the hardware. And it looks like we've got just one M3, bunch of M3 by 12s. Are these 12? Let's look. Yep, M3 by 12s. I need a hex tray. I agree. That's complete failure. Okay, so this goes here. And there's going to need to be some, they recommend some lubrication here, but I'm going to start this first. So that's going to go there, and then 3 by 12 in there. Now this is tightened from both sides because otherwise that center, the standoff there is just going to spin. So let's see what I got here and here. How much prefer springs to rubber bands? Yeah. They come pre-thread locked. Which is nice. That's really nice, actually. So we go in, and we go here. Print one now, we'll finish by the end of the stream. I don't think so. Okay, that worked well. No complaints there. And then there's a little pocket in there the spring is going to end up in. Let's see if we can do this without. And this guy goes on there. So the head of that screw, that's clever, goes into the, helps locate that spring. And then I guess I'll put a little bit, is this stuff gonna work? This is the little slug slime. This is not going into plastic. This is going into a metal standoff here, Stephen. So thread locker is absolutely okay there. So I'm just gonna put one little tiny drop on top of the plastic there, where that's gonna hit. So this guy goes in here. Where is, oh, this is gonna be fiddly. This is going to be fiddly. This in here. Maybe I can set this on top of that. Oh, interesting. Okay. Got it in place here. Now I got to hold it. Hold it. I think this will get started. Just one screwdriver. I don't think that's a problem. At least get to the point where that'll hold in place now. Yep. Arthur D. Where were you? There we go. Feels good. I imagine this is going to be a very smooth blaster. I bet you it's going to fire very well. Video and link for the droid sent in Discord. Awesome. Okay, so those are done. Then we get to put these on with some 2.6 by 8 millimeter screws. That must be these guys, little self-tappers. And then make sure that I got the, I had put a little brim on these, so I think these are actually just clearing. The layer around that edge is coming off. I guess I have my other scraper right here. So that's going to go in there. Hey, Jose. One, 2, and 3. Is everything, well, I guess not everything. The M5s aren't going to be Phillips. These probably need the next smaller size. I have 2 of these little iFixit kits now because I ended up ordering a anniversary edition Prusa Mark IV. I don't know if anybody saw the build sheet picture I posted on Twitter. It's a pretty neat little flex sheet. I did that because I sold my Mark IV to a friend who wanted to get into printing scenery for tabletop stuff, and I gave him a deal on it, and it just happened to come up at the time when those were the ones to order, the anniversary one. So get them into printing for less than a new kit. That just meant I just needed to grab another one. I like that orange against there. It's a good orange. Filament Galaxy Black and Orange Prusament. Okay. And then I don't get to finish this because I can't find my my piece. So I will just have to save those springs off to the side and just put the bottom piece on here. So this is going to be this guy with this plate on here. I'm just going to thread this in for now. I'm so irritated I can't find that because I have a box that basically has blaster stuff in it, and I have a different stock in there, a different worker one, but it's one that I had ordered that was wrong. So, oh, those springs come from the stock? Okay. I will see that. But at least this will get this piece on here, and then I can just, when I find that, your SBL is all Polymaker metallic, red, blue, and orange. Nice. I just really don't like the idea. I don't know how much of a, a real problem it is, but being in California in very hot summers, I don't want to risk leaving one in a car and having it warp. So that's why my preference has been PETG on these. I cannot print the stock. This part is printed. The rods and the spring and the release button are special. And Apollo, the one I have, remember we talked about it, the rods aren't even removable. They're pressed into the piece. It's a completely different setup. Screw from worker stock. Oops. Okay. Thank you. From worker stock. Pressed into the, well, also, I mean, I can bring it up here and show you. I got to get into this box anyway. This is the one I had bought for the Talon Claw, and it ended up being the wrong one. Yeah, it's pressed on both sides. There's no screws. It's not even adjustable. It's just this length. There's a thing here to remove it from the back of a blaster, but it's completely the wrong one. See, it's not adjustable. It doesn't have the correct rods. None of it is right. Yeah, we had this conversation before. That same conversation. and I really, it's so puzzling to me because I have looked everywhere but where it is. I feel like I've probably tucked it away in a completely unrelated box. I feel like I've completely tucked it away in an unrelated box, and I'm not going to find it until I just happen to be getting into that box anyway. Which happens. I mean, I'm sure you can relate. Happens all the time. Put something, oh, I'll find it here later. Okay, so that'll just be open for now. Those rods go through here. There's a little push button here. That's interesting. I wonder how that actually works. There's no relationship there. I don't know what that push button is there for at that point. Put it somewhere safe. Yeah, forgettable. Okay, so we're not going to do that. All this stuff is from the worker stock. The button, all that stuff is from there. So I'll get that when I find it. Hey, Bob. How are you? So then we have this, which is a machine part and 110 millimeter M5 bolt. So we have some, that's probably that guy right there. That one's not too bad on the corrosion. Yeah, that's our 110. Every time I drop a tool or part, it seems to roll the center and underneath the car. Did you check under the Subaru? Oh, so I had printed this piece because there's a printed version of here, but then I opened up the packaging when I was doing inventory and noticed that this is a machine part. And that's the, that locates the spring in the back here. So that, and then this guy is gonna go on here. Oh, that looks good. There is a lock nut in here. That's gonna go there. And that goes there. Yeah, might as well use the driver that they included. Okay, what are we going to do here? Make that set probably that way. Make sure these are all lined up and not some just random angle. Go. And then we have two M5 by 170. And we're supposed to have some washers. Here we are. Get the micros. If you ever find yourself looking for something to print, have a look at Eclipson 3D. They design and sell planes files, but designed for 3D printing is something to see. Oh, really? Let's get a... Is that what you're working on? That flying wing thing that you're working on is impressive and scary. It's impressive and scary because I can just imagine the pain if things don't go well. Okay. So I need 170 millimeter, 270s. It's that guy. Those are some long M5s. Hey, Redacted. So there are several washers here, and they call them spring washers. They're a lock washer style. So we're gonna do a washer on each spring washer first, and then a regular washer. My planes I designed myself, but took a lot of clever design tips from them. It's all single wall printing, so you have to have your printer really dialed in, I bet. I would really like to do a plane at some point. Same with a drone. Plane and drone are on the list. Just finding good designs and finding the time. So these go then through here. It looks like. Is that right? Right through here. Is that right? Yeah. Ooh, put a bunch of stuff together here. So, oh, and we need another 170 millimeter bolt with a spring washer and a washer. I printed a plane, but I used to be into RC planes some years ago. My dad was really into RC planes. He made all of his traditional, nothing 3D printed, all in wood and foam or whatever. Okay, so that's gonna go through there. So we have those three. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be a really long, we're gonna have fun at the end. This piece goes on there. It looks like we have a full length. Oh, I got some cleanup to do because this one, that amount of surface area versus this, I did a brim on this one. I didn't do it on these. And I am going to use an X-Acto because I want to actually trim that away. The one thing, this HTPET is not sanding friendly at all, even less so than PETG, and PETG is not great for sanding either, or even this kind of scraping. Yeah, that'll do. Hey, Lutian. Okay, so that goes there. This goes on here and kind of matches up over that. Then this piece, which I never did any stringiness or fixing, so a little bit of stringing through there and gone. All it really does is bunch it up and then makes it so you can just kind of scrape it off. Wayne, thanks for being a member. I just want a gift card for RC Country Hobbies, so I may or not re-enter the hobby. Is RC Country where, Dom? I'm sure there's multiple locations, but we have an RC Country here in Sacramento. It's a very big hobby shop. Terrible pilot of an aerospace engineer. Some of the planes are fully autonomous, takes off, flies, and lands by itself. That's really cool. I got something to show you here. So that goes there. I have something to show you. I'll just do it. Where's my phone? I don't even have my phone in here. No chance of moderators today. Maybe I can, I know, I posted a picture somewhere. Let me show you this drone that I don't get to play with, but let me find it. It's the same one off Bradshaw. I live in Rosemont. Oh, you're okay. Awesome. Congrats on winning a gift card. For some reason, I thought you were the Dom from SoCal. You live in Rosemont. My friend lives in Rosemont. Hold on a second. This is really cool. This thing is, it hasn't flown yet, but we're trying to get the software set up for it. I'm pretty sure I posted a picture of it. I posted a picture of it recently. Working on it just a little bit ago. Well, maybe not. Where else would I have posted that? Oh, there it is. Found it. Okay, let me copy this. Here, check this out. Let's go here. Reuse this one. Come on. Check this thing out. Your phone is next to the missing parts. Yeah. Hey, Joel. Hey, babies. Look at that thing. Ooh. It is a VTOL. So the front motors rotate up for takeoff and landing, and then rotate forward, and the rears turn off for flying. There's a camera, an A7, a Sony A7 here that points straight down. And then it also has LiDAR payload capability. It's about a 7 or 8 foot wingspan on this thing. Yeah, it's a beast. Let's get this zoom back in. I did not build that. That is a purchased plane at my work for surveying purposes. It is foam. It's mostly foam and carbon fiber. Okay. So all of that goes in there, and we don't actually tighten down anything yet. Sounds like a stream project. No, I don't get to play with that. I get to help set up the computer side of it, but I don't get to play with the drone itself. Foam flying fun. Yeah, exactly. That, and then we put together the front pieces. Okay. So we go here. Let's put this one on first. So that goes on right there. 2 of these guys. Take your stream to work day. That thing there was not cheap. There is a huge demand for that kind of surveying capabilities. A couple of those self-tappers into here, kind of like an Osprey. Yeah. And then this and these guys go into here. Which direction? Yep, right there. So those go in there, and then this is going to go right there. And I'll make that 3 of those. Oh, and then there are 210 millimeter long bolts. These guys that go all the way, spring washer, and so I have 3 more. Yep. So that guy goes there. I take 3 of these guys. And yeah, I think this is where I was seeing a little bit of the rust on the threads. Let's just do this. Drop them all over the place first. Just I would like to do an FPV drone. It's just drones are such a pain right now. Okay, and then all these, there's three holes. So just do that. Of course, tail sitters? What are tail sitters? And these guys will go in here. Just barely reach the back of that. Oh, no, it's just not pushed in all the way. There we go. Yeah, and it sticks out a little more back there. Yeah, this Witchcraft is pretty awesome. When I saw that and I knew this was coming up, I had these parts before Rocky Mountain, and oh yeah, that locks all of those in. The Picatinny rails in. So that's it. I bought it exactly for this project. Okay, so that's in there. And then we have some bushings in here, some copper bushings that go into this piece. That's these guys. And those ride on those bolts. Is there any grease? They want any oil or grease or anything? I don't see anything. Okay. These guys go into here. Now, there is a little bit, that's quite a bit. I was gonna say there might be a little bit of bridging droop, but it's quite a bit off. I can't really get a good view. Let's get a better look at this. Clean this up a little bit. Just take a layer or two off. That fits in. There we go. That was not bad. Imagine those will get forced here. We can just use this. There we go. Shelf built, took time to stock it with printers and things. Nice. Just like that. So we'll do the same thing over here. So this printed like this. So these top layers here, and this might not be an issue if you printed this in PLA. Bridging on PETG is definitely something to be dialed in, and I did not. But these, I mean, they're not drooping, but as we saw in this piece, the even short bridges were not great with this filament. And I'm literally taking off like 2 layers, just the ones that might have any impact here. I'm not cutting into it. I'm just basically splitting it at the layer line. Yeah, and then it goes right in. That's good. And you know, that one's showing the seam. You can't have that. Pop that out of there. Turn that around to where the seam's to the inside. There we go. Why did you go PETG over PLA? Preferred fitting it in the car. Won't warp here in the California heat purposes. That's all. No reason beyond that. And then we have these strips, aluminum strips, going in with this paid attention to orientation, and some of those and some M5 nuts. So this is like that. And okay, going in here like that. These are so much nicer than the just drilled aluminum bar stock that's on a lot of these kits. Something I am noticing that's really nice is all of these have thread locker pre-applied. That's really cool. I like it. I don't have to deal with it. This one. I'll use this one. I don't know. Should these be fully tightened? Does it say? Oh, and we are on. Here, let's take a note here. Oh, SBLH configuration shown. If you're doing the full, so this is half darts versus full darts. See Appendix 1 for full. So we're good. Finished wings on your Discord. It'll be a few months before I can fly them though. Okay, so that's there. What's going to be next? Then we put this thing. Oh, and then it goes through that. Okay. So that's that side. This side comes in here with a nut. I am liking not having to deal with the thread locker. I don't know how much. Let's just eyeball these for maybe a full Ugga Dugga. They look parallel, just eyeballing. So let's see this way. Yeah, everything looks parallel, so let's just get those in there. Half darts are better than full lengths. Yes, I agree. And then this goes into here. So with that sitting this way, this comes in this way. And to line up these bolts here, maybe do like this. There we go. No grease in those. What do you think, Apollo? Should those have a little bit of oil on them? I'll defer to you. Did you use a printable blaster that was Rocky Mountain? I didn't see it, but I heard about it. Hey, Iridium. Was there a reason to print in PETG, or you just fancied it? Just temperature tolerance. And the appearance, the colors are nice. I'd put a drop or two of slime in there. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. I'm gonna put it, I guess I'm just gonna sneak in there and put a couple of drops on the bolts. Let's see how much I'm putting there. Just kind of let it work its way in over time. Spread it with the yeah, just see how that does. There's a couple of drops on there. Well, hopefully we won't get the cops called on me in California. Exactly. Exactly. Nice bright colors, plenty of orange. Okay, oh, and then we get into the mag release. So this, I looked at this a little bit. If you look at the files for these parts here, so we have the full mag release and then the half mag release. There's two different, depending on what mags you're using, and I'm using the Talon claw mags. But if you look at the files here, I think it's here. There are, and this is part of the cleanup, there's double files. So the little one, it got copied here twice. So it makes you think twice. And why is this a different size? Which is the file that you should be using? Hopefully I used the right one, because these file sizes are actually different. Let's look at the Talon one and kind of get an idea there. Hopefully I actually printed the right one, because I didn't notice the file size difference before. And then let's look at the Talon. I don't know, was there a difference in the shape of the end here? Let's look at that. Now I think it looks, that wasn't opposite, right? No, they look the same. I don't know what the difference is, but there's a katana and a Talon, and the file names make it a little hard to know which one. The Talon is what I printed. So, hey Ricky, hey Ryan. I think one is just simplified. Yeah, I don't even know which one I printed, but I have it. So let's see what we do with it. So, do we do anything with that? Okay, I'm not sure what to do with it. Still, we've got a part here, and then theoretically this goes like this. But where does that go? Is that... I know I have the right one, but it's not that R3D. Look at the file names here. You got two of the same one. They're visually the same. So it's just kind of talking about, I talked at the beginning of the stream, that I think there a little bit of extra polish could be had, because there's a lot of confusion in the file structure. So there is a brass standoff here that gets used. That goes into here. 12mm brass standoff. Could be streamlined, yeah. Just nitpicking. Just nitpicking. No, it doesn't go there. It goes into this piece. To that piece there, and then this. Oop. This goes in here. So that's gonna go right there. I think you're missing a part. What part am I missing? I have that piece there. I have that piece and I have that piece for the half, for the H mag release. And then that's step 14. So step 15 is there. We're gonna put some M3x12s through there. Now it never tells us what to do with that other little piece yet, but it might tell us later. The mag catch should be 2 pieces. Not according to the file names. We'll find out. We will see. So that's there. We need 2 M3x12s. Do they have variants of these printed blasters that shoot soft enough for kids to use safely? Oh yeah. You can get a weaker spring. There's this fully 3D printed design that folks are mentioning in chat. Where did that one go? Where did that screw just go? Okay. Hopefully I find it. I didn't hear it hit the ground. Inside the barrel thing. Oh, there it is. It went, yeah, it got wedged in the bar in there. Okay. Oh. Fiddly, fiddly, fiddly. Okay, now if I pull on this mag release as I'm tightening this, it's going to put enough friction on that standoff to at least get some threads in there. Oh, no. I need to be right back. I forgot to do something very, very, very important. I just realized it. I have no idea why that came into my head. Okay, so that's in there enough. I need to be right back. Sorry about that. So the turmoil of my mind realized I was supposed to feed the neighbor's dog this morning before stream, so my son is going to go do it for me. Usually how things happen, it's like trying to remember some celebrity's name. It comes back to you when you stop trying to remember. Yeah, and I thought about it earlier this morning. I realized I was supposed to, and last I was talking about was linked in the, okay. Make sure both sides tightened. That moves freely. Okay, upload. Did we figure out if I'm actually missing something, or what's the dealio? They nest into each other. So there's two parts side by side, but you gotta think there's a katana and a talon, and we're using a talon mag. So why would I print the katana? There's no explanation is the thing, and that's frustrating. There's no mention of it. It's not in the picture here. It's nowhere. Let's keep going. Let's see if we find where they cover this. Because if that's the case, I'm missing a part and I need to print it. It won't take long, but I don't see, oh, there we are. So this is the full SBL full configuration. It omits this step. Yeah, that's very poor documentation on that. That's frustrating documentation. So let's, yeah. See when you make the assemblies how they nest? Okay. And if that's the case, if you still don't need them, it really needs to be tweaked. Okay, let's just keep going then. All right, it won't take long if I have to print it. I'll just throw it on PLA on the Mark III right here. Is that where I'm at? I did that. Now we have some M5 nuts that go into there and an M5 nut there, and we're gonna put all this stuff on. So let's see. Let's go ahead and put these side plates on. I'd already cleaned these up. I was doing other stuff. So these, without both catches, the one catch won't align. It's really, really a failure in the documentation right there then. It'll flop around left to right. Let me get the printer that's, I'm just gonna print, I'll print it in the same stuff since it's still loaded. Let me just get it preheating. Get it preheating and then I'll go slice it because I don't have those settings here on this printer. So let's just preheat that and it'll only take a couple of seconds to print, and then at least we'll have it one way or another. One way or another, we'll end up having it. But that's, I looked at that. I looked at the names. I came to a conclusion that may or may not have been wrong. Okay, so that goes there. That's heating up. And then we got a bunch of M5 nuts. One's going to go in here. And then 2 inside here. Those are all fitting in well. There. And then this goes in the top. Is that, which way does that go? It's got to go on right like that. The only thing I can say is the print guide shows both being printed. But why name them? Why name them to different kinds of mags? Why name them to different kinds of mags? Why not just make it the catch? Why not just make it, why not just name it part 1, part 2, or A and B? I can understand why for detail's sake. Nah. It's a skill that a lot of everyone in these hobbies have, is not being able to look at things from the point of view of someone who doesn't fully understand the entire ecosystem. Oh, that nut worked its way out. Where are you? There you are. There you go in there. Oh, there we are. Okay, so that's on. That's on. Side plates are on. And we have another brass standoff that's going to go front here, according to that. So more nuts. And I'm imagining this is going to be fiddly. Wonder if a cheap airsoft red dot from LA would be fun on that blaster. Don't know. Okay, so that is there. And then we're going to have a bunch of nuts there. Those go in from the back. This is going to be without a good friction fit on these nuts, they're just going to be falling out. Let's go ahead and clean this little bit of supports off there. That turned out nice and clean otherwise. Fiddly bit is when the front and rear assemblies go together. Well, just the, I mean, if I move this around, I'm losing nuts, and that's the, so I think since it says to put the front one in first, I'm just gonna worry about these front nuts for right now. So that's there. I'm gonna put my finger there. The standoff is staying there okay. These guys go in here and here. And then this guy goes on here. Oh! See, I'm gonna hold this straight up so that doesn't happen. Goes there. This goes in. Oop. Guess that's fine. Goes on over that. Oop. See that nut's coming out. You gonna go back in there? There you are. There. There we go. Now they're all captured. And these guys, let's see if this will start. Losing nuts all over the place. When you mate the assemblies, you have spring tension everywhere, plus the 2 mag release springs. Fun. Nice. And then there's a couple of screws that go through here. Yeah, and 3x12s. I said I am grateful that the unique fastener count is pretty low on this. Hey, Steve. There are nubs in the mag catch part to grab the springs. Nubs in the mag, oh. Nubs in the mag catch part. Not have enough friction to just, yep, I just tightened down with that. 2 screwdrivers. Nubs in the mag catch part. Are there nubs in the back side of this? Mag catch part. What is the mag catch part at this point? This, oop. Goes like that, and this is gonna go, let's just kind of play with this. This is gonna go something like that. Yeah, there's no, I don't see any, but I could be missing it. A little bit. Oh, there's nubs in here. Yeah, there's nubs in there to capture the thing. Let's look at what this, okay, that's heated up. I'm gonna need to go over there to, did I do something wrong? That doesn't line up quite. I guess it does along the bottom, but not, no, it's just thicker there. Never mind, it's fine. Okay. So those are on, and then there's a spring washer, 4mm. Tighten the front 3 bolts until the spring washer becomes flat. Do not over tighten. Okay, I have no idea if I over tightened. Let's, just until it becomes flat. So let me just go in here, and they give you a nice little window to see, which is nice. So let me loosen these up and just get them to where they just bottom out is what it's sounding like. Hey, Jeff. Yeah, that one was about right. Just until they bottom out. Then it looks like there's a 15 or 16mm ID O-ring that goes up in there. O-ring may be omitted for easier release of barrel. I won't be releasing the barrel. I won't be swapping it out. So that's there. Is there anything? And then a M3x12 and an M3 square nut in the front there. So down in there is a groove. I like this. I like the clamping on the barrel. It seems a little more secure than some of the other designs. Is that the correct O-ring? I think it's got to be, because there's 3 of those. So let's do. That's a trick to getting one of these in here. There we go. Ah, just like that. Then there was a square nut in the brass. Square nuts in here. Woody, how are you? Okay, where'd it go? There it is. That goes in there. Like that. And then there's a nice large hole in this side to get the screw all the way in from here. And I think this is the last of our in 3x12s. And I'm not going to tighten that yet. I'm just going to okay. Loosen it up, just make sure it stays there. Okay, now I need to print this part. Need to print this part. It's going to end up going in here like this. Apparently it should go in right there. And I guess the idea is that this is wobbly if it's not. Are you sure? Because that actually... Well, let's print it and see what happens. I gotta go with Apollo's advice. Will it stay? If it works, it works. I did both. I want it printed. I don't want to have to wait at the end if it's fiddly. You did both and it didn't interfere with the mag staying in place, because that would be my only concern, is if it interfered. So if you did both, I'm going to do that. That means that I have to be right back. It'll be about 3 minutes for me to get that print going. Okay. I would be doing that assembly. I actually see the aluminum coming back and blind me live. I'm printing nut catches for the V0 rebuild. Dropped a Dragon burner last night with the tool board. Neopic electrical connection. I have to do some creative wiring 2 times in one stream. Yeah. You'll get it one more time when I go and collect the print. So I decided to print both of those, the parentheses one and the regular one, just to see if there's any. I looked in the slicer and there might be a slight difference, but it's hard to tell. They overlap almost perfectly, so they may effectively be the same. Okay, so we get to put the barrel in? Nice. Let's put the barrel in. So this is also, I mean, just all the parts in here have been really nice. The barrel is definitely a step above what I've been using before. Look at that. Look how shiny. Well, really nice chamfers. That looks really good. That's compared to the tube stock just cut and stuff. That is really nice. That is really nice. So this guy is going to go. The chamfer looks equivalent on both ends, so I don't think there's a way. Typically, it might be a good idea to put a tiny bit of oil on that O-ring, just so you don't. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a tiny bit of oil on that O-ring. How much is this build? The parts kit, it looks to be about $75. The shipping, it comes from Singapore, so just barely anything here. I'm just gonna go on the O-ring just a little bit. Shipping gets you though. It looked like the page said $20 shipping. Yeah, that fly. Yeah, much better. Now, I don't know how far back it goes. Is there a stop at the back side? Yeah, there it is. See, you know? Okay, so that stopped right. Yep, you can see it right there. I didn't see any instructions to add any O-rings there. So that's gonna go there, and then we will tighten this up a bit. It shouldn't twist or pull out. Okay. So we have, let's see, Appendix 3 for the metal ramrod configurations. Next build, fly swatter. Yeah, no kidding. I need a mosquito zapper. That's been the bigger problem. So this is all printed stuff. So if you print it, it'd be some self-tappers into there. Some super glue, apply super glue to breech screws. Okay, so what I saw before, where I thought I saw thread locker, it's super glue into self-tappers that are gonna go into plastic just to keep them in there. That's fine. We're not gonna need to do that because we have some metal parts here. SBLF configuration omits this step. So it does indicate, still indicates both. So that should be printing. Let me, oh yep, it says printing right now. So hopefully it's stuck. I did it blind. Lubricate plunger tube and all that goes together. So let's go down to Appendix 3. And these are the special rods that come with that stock. They have notches in them, so it's adjustable. Bug assault Widowmaker. So you glue these things into the printed part, and yeah. I'm actually not sure how that actually works, but anyway. Push there, retention screw. So this goes in, and this push button is supposed to, oh, there it is. Okay, it's on this side. I see. So there's a there's an opening for the rod. It's adjustable on one side, and the push button goes in, and you can see it goes there, but it doesn't go through on the other side. I see. And then a couple of spots for the springs. Got it. I need to find that because that would look cool on here. Okay, let's go down to Appendix 3. Appendix 1 is for the full, and see where you go to the front hole instead of the second and third hole. If you're okay with the stock color, you can leave the worker part on. But I think it'll look cool having the printed part. So I'm gonna use the printed part. Even though the stock, it's just black, but I think it'll still look just that much better with the printed part. And this is the full stuff. So this is all for the full length darts. So we're gonna skip all of this. This is more full length stuff. And there was a printed part here, but this came with a machine part, which I used. And here's Appendix 3. So we have, and there, even for this configuration, there's the printed version when you combine it with the metal ramrod versus the machined one, which we're going to use. All of this is going to be machined. I'm going to need my Dremel for what? Let's find out. So for the metal ramrod, what do I need the Dremel for? Adjustable stock, and it's going to be considered an AR. That's printed. So let's go down here to M4 grub screws. So I think that'll have come in the box, in the baggie that this thing came in. Here we are. And yep, everything has thread locker on it. To get the butt plate off, not right now. Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, are there any, so I need this, and I imagine an O-ring goes around. Get your tax stamp in California. Okay, so I've got all these O-rings. I am going to print a hex tray for this anyway. Even though I didn't use it for the build, I want to print it in these colors. Are there other, oh, okay. So there are other O-rings. These are slightly bigger? Yeah, slightly bigger than those. So I think these are gonna go here. These are tight. Okay. And that reminds me, I need to print a hex tray as well for my upcoming Trident build. And I am going to use just a little bit of blue bottom and red sides. Just a little bit on here. And that can be oiled later. I'm not gonna have that hanging around. Okay, and then this goes in here, and it doesn't look like, looks like that's gonna go that way, and there's a couple of notches there. So I don't think it matters, but we'll make them line up because that's what we do. OCP. Do that for my Trident. I can sit on the bottom for stuff. Sit it on the bottom, yeah. That is one of the nice things about the Trident is you have a built-in junk collection area. Just don't print too tall. Okay. Those went together nice. Oh yeah, that was perfect. And then a M4 grub screw, top and bottom. Woo! A bounce and a catch. I think I want to make sure that I am tightening these evenly so I don't fix my CDO. Please call it COP. So it goes there, and then I want to go until that. I'm gonna, as you see, there's a little gap, difference in the gap between them. So I'm gonna loosen that a little bit, tighten this side a little bit. Yeah, that was the ticket. Now the gap around it is even. Don't destroy the garage door now. I mean, it's kind of required that I put a dart next to the one that's there and see how far. If it penetrates and how far. I think that's kind of required. Yeah, that looks even. These are machined. The tall inches are much better than printed parts, so seal better. Yeah. The dart is still there. Yeah. And then we screw this onto here, right in there like that. Is that the, yeah. And it's got some screws already here. This is one of the differences on this whole setup. It is all metric hardware, where most of what we've done with the US based designs have been Imperial. Electric lime green ABS and carbon fiber ABS. Nice. This has some wiggle, so I want to try to make sure that that's all parallel with the rods here. That appears so. Like that. Krasimir. Singapore does not understand imperial measurements. Yeah, I'm not complaining. Not at all. It means I have extra fastener, a lot more extra fasteners. Yeah, that appears to be in line. Like those aluminum flat bars have become a standard on these blasters. Yeah, it's a, yep. But these are like finished, and it's not just cut bar stock. So there's quite a bit of added value in this kit, it appears. Okay, and then the SBL. This is the little scar. But do I do anything here? Let's skip this for a little bit. Oh, where's the rest of the instructions? Here, this is where all this goes. Plunger tube. I guess we just kind of follow this. So we have a Delrin machined plunger. Is it just cosmetic? I think it is a little bit more than cosmetic in that it's going to slide through your passages more consistently. So, oh, large O-ring there. You're right. Got a large O-ring there. Goes right there. I am going to wait until right before I install this to do that, just so I'm not setting it down and getting stuff all over. The prime on the SBL is super smooth. Yeah. Do I want to put, shoot, I do want to, so maybe I'll take that back. I'll go ahead and put some down on the inside as well as on the outside. Actually, the easiest way to do that is just going to be to coat this. Exciting news for your garage door. Mm-hmm. The poor thing. Okay. A little bit around there. Go. This one is a little easier to get to the bottom, so I think I'll do it this way. That works. Squeeze my finger in there. Get this distributed around the bottom of that. And it here. Oh, don't want any on the front there because we have to put that shock absorbing piece right there. Right? Does it go there or does it go on the other? I imagine it goes right there. Yeah, because this, otherwise I would seal this end, so it's got to go here. You've done a series of blasters, you should design a cool moving target system. It's not a bad idea. It's on the way back on the list of projects though. I've mentioned I kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel of my, because so much of my time spent has been trying to get kind of spaces organized and set up, and I'm getting closer. When I'm spending less time working on getting areas set up, I'm hoping I can spend more time on planning content and other non-stream related life activities. Okay, so that's going to go there. Is there any way for me to ensure that I'm going to get that on there straight? Is that going to help? I try to put it in there. Well, Mad Cat, it's really a matter of just kind of working through. There's nothing that would really be a benefit to like a short, like enough where someone could come over and help. It's really just kind of working through each thing. There's a company that makes a target system that uses a 35-inch TV, has an impact-resistant coating to survive airsoft BBs and foam darts. Nice. Okay, I think I'm just going to, here, let's do this. I'm just going to stare at the top of this and just kind of line it up with my fingers. We'll be doing more Fusion Fun type vids in the future. As the ideas come up, it's not, I don't have anything planned right now. I have a few videos planned. Yeah, that worked out pretty well. Yeah, when I spin it in my fingers, it feels centered. I have some videos planned I need to get done. Then we'll see where it goes from there. So this is little cushioning when it bumps there. And it also, I imagine that probably final little bit of seal. Yeah, this is machined. This is a really nicely machined, I'm guessing Palm or Delrin. And this is machined aluminum. A Glock gas-powered airsoft pistols. Be afraid to even with protective coating. Yeah, agreed. And then the spring goes here, and then there is that machine part in there that grabs the other end of the spring. So with that, I think we can start putting this together. Let me see. The parts are done, so let me go get them. Okay. So I printed both of them. Let's see if we see any difference here. Hey, Luke. Yeah, if there's any difference, it's very, 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 very minor. Just grab one of them at random and use it. So now the idea is we have, oops, I wanted this one. This guy in there. And then this guy will go in there. Right. Side it. I want to pull that out again. Look at the difference in how it sits here. It really looks like everything's identical. So, okay. Which blaster are we building today? SBL. SBL. It is really cool in that there are options for a lot of machined parts. This piece, so I will admit, having that piece in there seems to hold things in place a little better. So hopefully that will aid in assembly. Let's see if we can balance this on the front of the barrel. Woohoo! So now this whole thing comes together. Oh, we're at 2 hours. Wow. So now here is the step. So there's a little bit of stuff there. I wonder if I can very, very gently deburr that. It's a a bad idea. You go very lightly. There we go. SBL v2 in beta. Feels good. This other side, I let it skip. So there's a couple of spots that are a little rougher. So I'm trying to come in here with long, even, like feathered in. There we go. The OG SBL is a fine blaster. I'm just going to use my thumbnail on the outside. Just kind of catch any roughness here. I'm just going to use my thumbnail, but I think I'm going to use this because it's a little rougher than I thought. Let's see if I can do this effectively. This is not really the best. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, with that out of the way, put a bit of any plans to build the Lynx or the Alchemist? Either of those sound fun. I don't know. Depends on if I run out of things to do on these streams. A little bit more in there. Don't forget to, the mag catch springs. Yep. Thanks for the reminder. It was on my mind though. Set that there. Oop. And then I think I can get, so I never grease the outside of this. So let's get the outside of this oiled or lubed. That can go like that. We have two more springs down here somewhere. Here we are. Two springs. Is this third spring an extra? Okay. This goes here. This is going to go down around that part. The third is extra, okay. And that goes down inside of there. That goes like that. Okay. Let's set that right there. Now these guys go into here. So there's just enough that one fit just right to where the spring, I think it's just going to kind of sit there. Yep, both of those I think are going to sit there mostly on their own. Let's rotate this one to try to get it to sit straight out. Yeah, I think those are gonna mostly, yeah, sit there on their own. That's good. Vacation in Narnia. Those books were my absolute favorite when I was in grade school. I remember being in the 5th grade. I probably read those, not kidding, 4 or 5 times each. What are we doing for the sights? None. They didn't actually print anything for sights. Okay, so that goes there. We got grease in there. Might add a drop of glue to have those springs sit. I'm gonna leave it for right now. I think they're going to be captured in there pretty well. That was me. Let's see if I can do this a little more elegantly this time. It's gonna go there. It's gonna go right there. All of this sets. Oh, nope, the springs are still there. So let's hold that like that. I did not leave those nuts in there. So let me put this apart because I forgot to put the nuts back in here, which do that. This is where we might want some super glue, but let's see if we can do it without it. How do you go in? Those are like, how do you go in and then just fall out? Gotta get it lined up on the edges, but still. Welcome to the fiddly part. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's okay. We can deal with fiddly. There we go. That one's in. The one on top should be in already because it's captured by this part. This one needs to go in. Those springs are still there, so I'm pretty comfortable with how they're gonna stay. Oh, that one's still there. That one stayed in place. Never mind. I was trying to put a nut in a spot where there already was one. Okay, am I missing any others? So I've got 1, 2, 3 nuts there. I've got the springs there, and then this is gonna go like onto there, and then all of this. That slides that way. That goes in there. That goes in right there. Just kind of hold this like this. What are we talking about, fiddly? There's no fiddly. What are we talking about? It's an easy takedown if you want to change springs. Just tighten until the springs compress, is I'm guessing going to be the advice. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Very nice. We're almost there. Okay. That, tighten the rear 3 bolts until spring washer becomes flat. Do not over tighten. So that's what I did. Then we have the stock bars, which I'm not going to do today apparently. And then we've got the front piece. So we've got this guy. It's going to go onto here at some point that makes sense. I don't know how far forward that makes sense. I guess I'll put it to where it's like on the, I'll go a little more forward then. So that's one, and that's the second one. So I'm going to go a little more forward. Gap in the trigger guard looks like it would catch on clothing a lot. That, except there's going to be a magazine right here. Oh yeah, just make sure that moves and that stuff gets out of the way. Yep. Okay. So that's going to go there, and this has a bolt and an M5 nut. So there's a hex modeled in on that side, not on that side. So this goes through here. Oh, something I wanted to show on here that I noticed because I think it's interesting to see. So there is some, there's a slot in there. I think the idea is to allow this to squeeze a little bit. I don't know how effective it is with all this other plastic around here, but it is a thought of, that's the intent, I think, which is kind of cool to see. So there, and then the second one. So there's 4 slots on that rail, so I'm going to the second one from the front just because it seems. And that is going to go right in there. Yeah. It's supposed to do that. So that is the mag release. Oh, that spring is pretty tough. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to seeing how big of a welt I can put in my 20-year-old. It says done. Okay, so there were some instructions for this scar a little further back. So we're going to go back to that. And it is a fishing line scar. And it's kind of interesting. I wanted to try it. The bearing stuff is nice. Where was that? It's further back here. Oh, where was that? Did I skip that completely? I thought it was right in here. There, that. String rifling and centering. Oh, it was one of the appendices. I must have skipped right over it. Am I? Oh, there it is. Okay. Appendix 4. Cut 60 centimeters of 0.3 millimeter fishing line. 0.3 millimeter fishing line. I very specifically bought this. Tie a knot at the rear and begin through 1, exit from 2. So if we look at this guy, there are numbers. So we have, here's number 1. 1 through 1, exit 2. So we're going at a diagonal here. So, and there's a guide here. So we're going to go in 1, exit 2, go in 3, exit 4, go in 5, exit 6, and so on. And then we should, yep, we have another one of those screws. 2 of the screws. Do we start with, no, we'll just leave some extra there. we done yet? I remember Steve saying this is going to be quick. It is quick. We're almost done. Finish with 10 wraps around the screw and tighten it down. Oh, and then we have another O-ring to put in here. So, yeah, okay. Show fishing line. Flexible rifling, yep. Need some slow-mo to see if that happens. I don't have any good way of doing slow-mo. Let's just, okay, there we go. Pull it out that way. To deal with a ton of stuff. So 60 centimeters, about 2 feet. It's plenty. There's a little bit of stuff here that I'm going to cut off the end. A fresh straight bit, and we're going to go in one. Now the exiting part is going to be a challenge. So we're going to push this all the way through, I think. Never done this before. Pull all the way through, and then a little bit of a curve on that, and exit 2. There we go. Exit 2. In 3. Let's just take it this way. But then it goes back through. Three, exit 4. Exit 4. There we go. Piece of filament is perfect, which is normal rifling on this part work the same. Yeah, there are printed ones that I think work okay. There's one, exit 4, in 5. But this is different. I've not done this. So we're gonna go there. And then I think one of the things here would be making sure that you don't cross this on through another piece of the rifling in there. And I think I might want to try doing that by putting some tension on this as I'm working on it. So let's just pull some extra here. I don't care. I'm never going to use this much fishing line. So let's weigh that down and put some, there we go, some tension. And then pull that through here. Oh, did I go? Yeah. So in 5, out 6. Out 6 right there. In 7. Crossed any yet? Caught the line on my finger as I was moving it. Okay. 2, 3 blocks. Yeah, no kidding. Steve sews. And then this is in 8, or out 8, and 7, out 8. Yep, everything's good still. Eight and 9. 10. So last one. Yep, we're good. Let's hold that there. Hold some tension on all of these. So I thread the needle. Okay, so, and then out 10. Where's 10? Right there. Okay, so all of those are done. So that's all threaded. Looks like you're sewing. I know, it basically is. Tie a knot at the rear and begin. So I'm supposed to wrap that around and tie a knot. So we can do that now. So I'm gonna just cut off some good amount here. Wow, what kind of, oh, I see what's probably a, is that right? Go there and then through. What's going to be the best way to knot this thing? What if I tie one of these, and then go around it and pull it through? That's not going to be clean. Here, let's try this. Let's try something. Pull that. And then go around a couple of times before I pull that, and then pull all of this tight. Pull this. Come on, there. Oh, nope, it's not going to do that. Okay, let's just do this instead. Let's just create a larger knot here. What would you do here, Apollo? Because this doesn't seem like it's going to, my plan here I don't think is going to work. So what are we're going to end up putting it around there. What is the second screw for? Why don't I do that? Why don't I go pull this out through here a bit? How many screws? I've got plenty of these screws left. Why don't I put a screw here? Slip knot. I'm not making a very good slip knot. But what I think I'm going to try to do is I've got two, so let's go in here with one of these screws. And just bring this down and wrap it around here. I need more. How fiddly. I didn't use this car, I used one of my B cars. Well, yeah. Let's go here. Let's pull a little more here because we don't need a whole lot on the other side. Let's go here and then wrap this around. Oh, that just, okay. Let's go spiral. I'm working it out. Put that around there and then pull this the rest of the way. That loop that I put in is going to be around the screw. We're going to pull this through, pull all these tight. There we go. So it comes around and grabs on that screw. And string flying out like a party popper. Those all do that. Well, it'll be interesting to see what impact this has on the dart speed, dart velocity. Pull that tight, and then this goes around. I can wrap this around a few times here, I think. And then we're going to put another screw in this other side. And we're going to wrap this around here a few times, like it said. And then tighten this. Okay. It's on. Whether it stays together or not, another question, but you can see them in there. Then this goes in here. Push our, there we go. And one more little thing. Now there's an O-ring. It's gonna go in here, so I want to do that a little before I finish putting that in, because that'll just be easier to one more screw. Okay, here we are. They all seem pretty well tensioned. I don't know if there's too much tension. Supposed to put a spin on the dart. And I think effectively without the stock, that I can't find. That's the blaster. There we go. Here we are. Warren blaster win. Okay, where is a mag and a few darts? Are we ready? Let's do a combination of darts here. Countdown done. There's a new dent in the door. Okay, we got a combination of the different darts. Let's see if this goes in here. There we go. It goes in, holds, it releases. Okay, good call on the pieces. Hey, Shammy, how big do you make a hole in kid for 6x3 magnet when you model it? For a 6x3 magnet, I'd probably try 6.1 or 6.2. And I'd try maybe doing a hexagonal hole. There was a piece to the mag release that I was missing, Michael, but I printed it and we put it in there. So the only thing I'm missing is what would go here. And that would make this thing look way more complete. It's got some rods that go in there, and then they go through the 2 holes here, and then there's a spring mechanism here that goes underneath this cover plate for adjusting it. But that looks cool. I like it. Are we ready? What view do you want? Well, I'm not going to shoot the door yet. We're going to do just a regular fire. So let's see if we can get a, there we are. In, oh, there's the dart in place. And then it's latched and then pushed in. And pushing forward all the way and make sure that that O-ring goes in. Wasn't there something you had to get off the other blaster that was on the front of the back purple part? On the front of the back purple part. Well, I can't find that part. So let's go just shoot into the edge there. Ooh! Okay, the garage door is trembling. Yeah, that's smooth. That's in. Are we ready? Do you want a view of it hitting, or do you want a view of me firing? You probably want a view of it hitting. Let's find out what happens. There's the Phoenix. There's the other dart. I got the CookieCAD box and this little workbench. Are we ready? We'll check velocity after this for sure. Woo! Well, that landed in my beard. If you saw it in the small thing, it did not. I mean, it put a definite dent there. It just didn't stay. Ooh. That is a bigger dent than this one. This one just happened to catch. I have a chrono. We're gonna hook up the chrono right now. So I've got some extra parts here we're gonna clean up. So let's get some of these screws together. Extra parts, extra O-rings. Do an extra thing. Success. Go for the beard catch. Did you guys see that hit my beard and almost stay there? Oh, and we got an extra really long M5 bolt. Oh, this guy goes in here. That won't stay there, but we'll Okay, now I need to get my setup for the chrono. Thank you, Apollo. This is fun as always. That fly. Okay, I have that, and you know my little extension piece is right over here. So I can find out where things are if I really try. Ooh, I've got a different, I don't even need the extension. I've got this. I bought a here, let's go here. I bought a really, probably a little overkill monopod for the Osmo. So let's do this. Yeah, it goes way high. So we'll go right there. Turn this around where we can see it. Aim it towards the corner of the garage. Actually, why don't I put this over here so I can get a better view at it. There, right like that. Yeah, a little too high. Bring that down a bit. A little too high still. There we go. Aimed right at the vacuum. Yeah, it's a... Okay, can we see what that says? I'm gonna aim it a little over, try to get a better angle at that. So we have a worker dart as the first try here. Actually, let's reload this. Do a couple of the dart zone darts, then a couple of worker darts. Now we need to say 2 millimeters behind it, so now you got a good aim as well. So right there is where we're gonna go. It's gonna be right in the way. Not a whole lot I can do about that. Unless, this might actually work better. I mean, what else are we gonna do, right? We're pretty much there on the build. 2 meters, not millimeters. Well, I got to make sure that I make it through the center of that chrono. Let's get all of this together. Test it with and without the muzzle. Yes, yes, we are. I think we can do this and really get a view. And then it won't be in, I don't think it'll be in the way. What do you think? That worked pretty well? I wish the glare, there we go. Get away from the glare. Never saw anything like this. Oh, that's terrible on the glare. Okay, we'll go there. Okay. So that was the dart zone. Oh, this will be a worker. Ooh, I hit something that made that a lot louder. What was that? I think there was one more in there. Nope, dry fire. Oops. Feet per second. Feet per second. Let's get a collection of fresh darts from each. So we're gonna go, yeah, it's feet per second. I can probably change it on here. That's the results of that group of them. No, I don't want to turn it off. Turn it on. Nope. I was hoping that was like a hold it down and get into a menu thing. Unit. Ah, there we are. Meters per second, feet per second. Let's go meters per second. There we go. Okay, we're on meters per second now. The garage door rope handle. So I've got a fresh, never been fired, I think, batch of, let's go, how many is that? These are all worker darts. There's 8 of them. Let's go 8. Set the weight to 1 gram. Can I do that? How did I get into them? There we go. Ammo. Weight is 0.2 grams. Is that right? Am I doing that right? Okay. Yeah, ammo. Oh, and there's an ammo size as well. Millimeters. These are what? How big around are these things? These are, what are they, about 12 millimeters? Yeah, it looks like about 12 millimeters. 12 point something. Oh, here. 12. Okay. Okay. So now it says 12 millimeters, 1 gram ammo up there in the corner. Did I prime it already? How many are in here? Nope, okay. Okay. 69.2 meters per second. I hit the little cable that holds the garage door. Boing. I'll twist this a little bit. Is this the last one? I think that was the last one. Yep. With the weight set, you can see the force in joules. 2.5 joules there. We go there. That's our list. I know it's hard to see, but we hit from 68.5 up to 70.7 on those 8. Max was 70.7, average was 69.4. And that was, it says 2.5 joules there on that last one. Okay, worker darts. Let's see what we get with the worker darts. Fresh worker darts. Does it show ES? What's ES? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extreme spread. Oh, I don't know. I don't see that. Here's another 8. This is worker darts. That's it. We got a little less consistent there. We had a maximum of 71.9 and a minimum of 63.5 and 68.5 average. So now we're going to take the scar off. I want to see if there's anything in here. Did it pull anything? No, it's all clean. I saw some seam from the print in there. Okay, we'll go right, since I have them right here, we'll go another 8 worker darts without the... Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did the tension on the fishing line change? It doesn't appear so, just visually. Visually, it's all still taut. I couldn't really test the tension. It is fairly taut in there, so I imagine this is going to be a difference. The muzzle piece need to be orange. The inside is orange. This is kind of the color scheme that it was listed as. I'm not too worried about it. I don't take these out and about, besides like an event. Okay, so let's go back to a new set. So this is workers without the scar. Woo. Nope, that was it. Can you see rifling on the used darts? Oh, I'd have to look. Let me see. Any of the the dart zone ones would be. No. Let me look at a few more here. Dodge the spiders. I don't see anything that would be like a consistent line on them. I do see this. I wonder if that's has anything on it or if it was there prior. Let's see. That might have been there prior, but that was on one of those. So for that set, the average was 69.1. So yeah, and we did have a, well, I didn't reset. I'm not sure exactly how. How do I reset this? Oh, I've got a rolling average. So my averages have been all over the place. Okay. I should have been resetting that. How do I reset it? I guess, does this just reset the thing or does it reset the whole thing? Let's find out. Oh, there we go. Not calibration. I don't think I want any of that. Exit. Let's just turn it off. See if a reboot brings up fresh data. There we go. A reboot does bring up fresh data, so I should have been rebooting in between. We get 8 fresh dart zone darts. I mean, it's not that important. It's not. We're just playing. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 fresh dart zone darts. Okay. Whew. Well, that one was a dud. You connect it to your phone with the Bluetooth. Maybe there's a reset in there. Oh, is this Bluetooth? Oh, I guess it is. You know, who knows what I hit with that other dart too. It might have got damaged by what it hit over there. That was it. Ooh. That's a tough spring on there. Very cool. Very cool. We could probably, let's try the Cynthia. Let's throw a no. Oh yeah, let's go over to the, well, the average wasn't, the average was rolling on the last one, which was for all of the shots I fired. So it didn't really count for the average. I wasn't resetting it in between. What do I got? Five darts in here. Oh, that's the that's the SBL. Let's go with this guy. This was my, I think this, between this and the Talon Claw are the strongest blasters I have. Oh, why didn't you show up? Huh. What was that? That was 67. Okay. Get a box of the worker bamboo darts. Okay. 64.9. Fun. Oops, not that one. That one. That was the Cynthia, which we built on one of these streams a while back. So this one's bolt action. This one, actually, I haven't fixed yet either. I have a new tube and and I reprinted all the things because I'm not 100% sure how good of a seal it's making. Apparently it's making a good seal because it's firing really well, but what's this? Oh, there goes the, hold on. Where'd that go? There it is. A rib like bamboo, so less friction in the barrel. Nice. There we go. So that one, and then just for anybody who might not have been here before, this is the Talon Claw that was mentioned. And this one has a B scar, so bearings. So we've got a series of ball bearings, or yeah, well, of flanged bearings. And this one shoots right there in the 200 feet per second range as well. And it's another pump action. This one has a much harder trigger pull, just the way I built it. And this is the only one I've built in PLA. This is all PLA, where the other ones are PETG. And then the last one, this is probably still my favorite, is the slab, because it's a really unique, interesting lever action. So, slab. So, now I need to figure out a better way to display these. This is cool. I like it. It shoots really hard. I'll show it to my son later. That is smooth. That is really smooth. And it looks like the oil I'd put in there is doing its job. It is a strong spring though. Custom blaster rack, if only we knew someone who could fusion honeycomb storage wall panels and the Nerf hooks. So I need to figure out how I'm going to display stuff in here without it just instantly getting dirty. And where, because I'm still planning on moving my streaming setup to here. So actually the garage door is going to be the backdrop. Should invite your son on stream to target practice on me. That's not, they target practice on him. Yeah, that is, oops. Multi-board, we'll do something. There we go. And that goes and pushes the dart in. Just a little bit more forward to get that seal. 72. There's already a hole in it, stick them to the door. Yeah, that's possible. These are the two of this, and this is definitely it could probably use some tightening up. Let's see how much of, no, that's tight. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. Does YouTube get funny showing these sorts of devices? No, we're very clear about what we're doing. It is a foam blaster in the style of Nerf. It is a members stream. I don't know if any individual caused any issues or not, if it would be a problem. Let's see, that one needed tightened. That one's good. I'm just going through here just to make sure everything's tight. Nero had something different. He brought up, didn't he bring up something a little more realistic? And it was still a false. It wasn't valid, but their AI caught it. Yeah, everything is good there. So, but yeah, and these are those just bar stock, aluminum bar stock, which is fine. He brought up a prop, yeah, which shouldn't have caught, but this, there's some wiggle, but it's not the same. The whole blaster isn't twisting. Yeah, there's going to be twist, but the whole blaster isn't twisting. It's just that. Very cool. I need to find the stock because this really needs a stock. Censorship going on in Canada. Okay. Lots of things. I figured I wasn't going to worry about it. Doing these on members streams kind of shields it a little bit, I think. I hope. There is a zinc, if you want to look that up. That will not be done on YouTube. I am going to be building it though, but it'll probably be a Discord hangout. Yeah, thanks, Apollo. That's exactly the why I appreciate it, is getting an idea for the different designers and the designs. It's really cool looking at just how the parts are designed and what the person who modeled it, their thought process, you can kind of see in where they split the parts and why, that kind of stuff. Yeah, the zinc's a little too much of a replica for YouTube, I think. But we're still gonna show it. It'll just be on a Discord hangout. I have all the parts printed. I just need to find some time to do it. It goes across there. I like the colors. I wasn't quite sure how the orange was gonna come across, but I like it. It's like a mohawk. Very cool. Well, thank you everyone for being members. We are going to be back on the black box tomorrow, and then we might take a little bit of a break in order for some other things with that to come together. If I can work out the schedule, I will probably switch over to the positron for a couple of weeks, and then we'll come back to that. The slots on either side of the hand garter for mil spec accessories. Wow. Tuesday, the plan is to start the 9mm gantry Trident stream, and that will have a few other mods and accessories go along with it. It'll be very much in line with the Green V2, that same type of series with other mods to check out and showcase on there. Not exactly sure the full lineup of what we're gonna do. The big one is that 9mm aluminum gantry on it. So yeah, so thanks again, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the build, everyone. Bye.